Hey, what's up, podcast? My name is Dmack. Welcome to Dmack's podcast. I want to thank you guys for being in tune with all the episodes that you've been watching. If you guys don't know, I am now approved to be on Apple Podcasts. So that app that you have on your iPhone, I'm now on it. So go check out Dmack's podcast on your Apple Podcast app. And today's guest we have Yvan. And Yvan, go ahead and introduce yourself, bro.
Okay, so my name is Yvonne. I'm 21 years old right now. I've been playing basketball since 11 years right now.
Yeah.
Since I was 11 years old, I've been traveling with basketball in France. I've been playing with Dmack in Los Angeles as well, and right now I'm back in my home crib, basically in Martinique, where I start playing basketball right now.
Cool, cool. So explain to us how you guys started playing basketball. Like, was it your parents that put you in basketball, your friends, or you just have a desire to play? Like, what made you start playing basketball?
Okay, so what made me start playing basketball? Basically, I got two cousins that play professional in France. So they had a big like influence on me wanting to play basketball because I wanted to play basketball just like them. You know, it was not even to really be a professional basketball player or anything, just to copy them. And then after this, I like playing the sport. You know what I'm saying? I was really passionate about it. I put a lot of effort into it really young. And basically, yeah, everything started escalating. I start traveling with it. I start really liking it, liking the grind and everything about it. And basically, that's it. That's what bring everything out.
Yeah, yeah. So you're from Martinique. Did you go to high
Yep.
school? Did you go to high school in Martinique?
Okay, so I went to high school. I spent 2 years in high school in Martinique, and then I flew out to France, where high school in France is only 3 years. So I did my last year in France in my first like real big team, real basketball team. So that was a team in Pro B, if you know division in France. We have Pro B and Pro A. So Pro A is the top one, and then we have Pro B right under this. So I
So
was playing in the under.
that's for high school?
No, the thing is, we play for a team in France. We don't play for school.
Oh,
Okay, so you can go to a school and everything and play for another team. The two are not,
yeah.
they don't merge and everything.
Okay,
So I was playing for. So the Pro B team. It's like you have under 18. It's a category right on under this, and then sometimes they have like a bigger team playing. For example, in they call it Espoir or I don't know N2, N1, and everything. And this is like the team where let's say a pro get injured, they might pick you up if you're playing in this team, right? It's like the backup pro team. Call it like that, you know.
okay. So how was that experience? Like, did you guys like work out and train like every day, all day? Was it like, cause you're like a pro, right?
The thing is, and that's what is the biggest difference between France and like USA is that because you play for a team and not for a school, your schedules they're not really gonna match perfectly, right? Because you go to school like a regular kid, and then right after this, you have to go to practice, right? So let's say you can start school at 9, finish at 5, or even worst case 6, and then you have to go to practice right after.
Mm,
Sometimes you can even miss some practice because you got to go to school.
yeah.
That's why you got so many kids in France. They just drop out because they want to go to practice. They don't want to go to school, right? So they just drop out. And of course, if you really put your heart into it and you don't give a damn about school, yes, you can practice morning and evening, right? But it's kind of hard because sometimes you want to have your diploma and everything, but you want to play basketball as well. So you really got to make a decision.
Yeah. Did you guys travel a lot, like across France, or you mostly just stay kind of in the same area?
Okay, so we kind of travel a lot, but you're not going to travel so much. For example, unless you're in Pro A, where you have to play against teams in the north or in the south and everything. Let's say you're in Pro B, you're going to play within your area. You're not going to travel too much around France. They basically let the Pro A team travel, and even the backup team, you have to travel with the Pro A team because you have the same schedules for games, right?
Yeah.
So you're going to travel a lot if you're in Pro A. but not really that much if you're in Pro B, you know?
Okay. I want to talk about Martinique. Is there like, I know it's like a small island. Is
Yeah.
there like a college team and like a pro team over there, or that's why you went to?
It's the thing is with Martinique is that we have, the backup team that I was talking about in France. We have this, but this is our like higher level of competition here. Okay. So this is our level. So that's why I wanted to travel and to see something else because there's nothing really big that you can do over here, right? Because we only play against, let's say, I don't even know, we have probably like 17 and that's it. And we play against each other like during the whole year. That's what we have. And then after this, we compete against other island. And then after this, we compete again. Probably if you win, you can go to France and try to play them, you know?
Yeah. Okay, that's pretty cool. It seems like you travel a lot at a young age from Martinique to France.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That's pretty
Of
cool.
course, of course.
So
Yeah.
how was your experience when you came to LA? How was your experience with TMG? Was it like really different than what you were used to?
Okay, so the thing is, um, now I got to tell you something first. So my first year in France was really terrible in terms of adjustments because when you go from a country to another, the type of play, the way they play it might be different sometimes. It might be a lot different sometimes. So my first year, I struggled a lot in terms of adjustment and everything. It was in Pro B, right? My first year, we was really terrible, like in terms of adjustment. But something told me, like, man, you know what? I should try to play in Pro A, right? Everybody was telling me, like, man, what? Why? You can't even really play in Pro B. Why would you want to go in Pro A? I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try something. I went to a tryout. It was for a backup pro team, call it like this, and I was like, you know what? I just want to test myself. You know, I just want to test myself. And then I played really well. And guess what? They picked me up next year. That was the next year. So I was playing with the backup team. I was like, okay, so let's do it. And I spent not even the half of the season maximum. And then I realized like, okay, something is not right. Like this is not what I feel like okay, I upgraded, but I feel like this is not really what I want to experience. So guess what I did? I stopped there. I said, you know what? I want to go home. I want to go home, practice, and trying to go to USA because this is not where I want to play right now. Okay, so because you have to sign a contract, and the contract is like 3 years.
Yeah.
Everybody was like, "Nah, you're not going nowhere." So I was like, "Okay, you know what? Y'all don't want to let me go, so okay, I don't play." And basically, they let me out in 2 weeks or something like this. I went home, practiced every single day from Monday to Sunday, no days off. And around June, I went back in January, but then around June, I went back to see my family in ATL because I got family there.
Yeah.
And I spent around 2 weeks, have some work done with some coaches and everything. And then I went to play AAU in Los Angeles. That was my first time playing AAU in Los Angeles. So I feel like, okay, this is what I needed. This exactly right there, this is what I needed. And I play well in AAU, I believe. ASI picked me up back in the day. ASI picked me up, and then boom, around a month or so after, because you have to do some administration stuff and everything. I was in the USA, and I feel like okay, this is the place where I wanted to end up. So right now I'm there, you know. And it was everything about having the gym. Whenever you want to have the gym, I was working out with PM. Sometimes it was like 11 p.m. You can do this in France, even if it's France. It's bigger than my island, but you couldn't do this because gym are closed around this time. I was going to LA Fitness and it was 11:30 and everything, still getting work done and everything. And I was feeling like, okay, this is what I needed. And I have to stay there. Uh, at least for basketball, I have to stay there because this is what I needed. Like practice whenever you want to practice. And the difference in like mentality, because one big thing is that the mentality about sport in France, Europe in general, and USA is different, right? I don't know if you will agree about this, but let's say, okay, in USA they really push you hard about play intensity, playing with high intensity, really like playing defense. hustling on defense and offense, like both sides, running the floor and everything. It's really about effort. In France, they really emphasize structure. Like, okay, the game has to be like this. You have to pass the ball, not really that much of one on one. You have to do this, you have to do this, this, and this, and this. But they don't really put the stress on defense and offense the way USA do it. You feel that difference?
I agree. I agree.
You know, they let player like get to college and then they kind of teach them about, okay, this is how you play structure. Okay, you have to do this and everything. But these players, they already know how to play really hard. So when they transition, okay, it's going to be structured, but it's going to be structured and hard at the same time. You know?
And I think that's a good mixture of if you have the American style of basketball, hustle, going fast, doing a lot of good defense,
Exactly.
and you also understand that you have to like pass the ball, when to move off the ball, how to play smart. If you have both
Mm-hmm.
of these, then I think you're a really valuable player because most players, especially here in the States, especially in LA, most of the
Mm-hmm.
games are just one on one, one on one,
Yep.
one on one. So
Yeah.
it's I guess it's a good thing because our game is kind of like one on one. But when you want to travel or make it to like the top level and you don't understand
Mm-hmm.
that concept of moving off the ball, when to
Yep.
pass, when to move, that's really important if you want to go overseas or make it to a pro level. So I understand that difference.
Yep.
And I want to ask you about your experience, like when you were here in the States,
Mm-hmm.
was it difficult for you to pick up with the pace of this type of basketball? Like when you were here, was it
Mm-hmm.
kind of too fast, or like you had to like fix your game, a part of your game that you didn't have it before? Like how was the level of basketball here?
Okay, so like I said, when I left France, I was used to play so like it was slow paced compared to USA. So when I got into USA, even in AAU, I realized, okay, that's what I need to improve. I need to, to play with really your heart on the court, like really play defense hard, offense hard. There's no like you can't cheat, because if you cheat, they will see it. They will see it. Like, nah. It's really the thing is the really key things that I had to fix is that okay, you have to play always like 100%. If you play defense, that's 100%. If you play offense, that's 100%. Don't try to save like because in France they got smart players like they saving energies while they playing. You know,
Yeah.
it's like okay, no, I'm not gonna play defense right now. Play offense after this, so I'm gonna be tired. So now, and this is one thing that I had to like really flip the switch. Like, okay, this is what I need to do, like all the time, like hard. But hard doesn't mean like you run all over the place. Hard means okay, I play defense right now. I play defense hard. After this, okay, let's say I don't know. I have to call a play. Okay, I can rest while I call the play. I'm protecting the ball. I can rest a little bit. But when I'm attacking, it's hard. And
Yeah.
that was really the key thing that I had to really fix from France to USA.
Okay.
That was the biggest thing.
Yeah. Yeah. So after you got done here in LA, and
Hmm.
because earlier in the podcast, just for the viewers, I want them to know. Earlier, he said he played for ASI, which is now called TMG. The name of our prep academy used to be called ASI, but
Hmm.
things happen and da da da, and then we changed our name to TMG. So
Hmm.
that is what he meant when he said ASI for TMG. So after you got done playing here in LA, what did you do after that?
Okay, so after this, because like I said, when you play in the France and you try to make it to the highest level, you have to put school on the side, right?
Mm,
If you want to really practice and everything, you have to put school on the side. And because right now, I just turned 21 years old, and I realized, what, I have to put some work done school wise, right? I got to get a diploma and everything. So right now, I started a 2-year degree in France right now. I'm at the second year right now, so that's my final year. So I was like, you know what? Let me go back home, get this, get this done because it will always be in the back of my mind, like, I don't have the diploma right now. So when I play basketball, I'm a little bit worried, especially because if you want to, let's say, bounce back from after your career and everything, that's better for you to have a diploma early than late, because when you used to play basketball all the time, going back to school is going to be so hard. So I rather just, stay in school right now, finish my diploma, and then okay, right now I'm free to whatever options they might, present to myself,
Yeah.
they might present me. So that's why I went back. But I didn't close the door. I didn't shut the door on basketball. You know what I'm saying? So I'm still practicing. I'm still going to the gym. Of course, there's less practice. There's like 3 or 4 practice max per week, but I'm still going to the gym, lifting and everything, basically every day. Because when you used to really work hard, you never really quit, in my opinion. So yeah, that's it basically.
So I remember when you were here playing with us, and by the way, for other viewers, Yvonne is a really good player.
That's
Um,
not true.
um,
It's not true.
so when you were here, I remember you had an offer from a school in Illinois. I think it was Illinois.
No, that was ECU. I got to tell you what happened with them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so basically, remember I had to pass the SAT, right?
Mm-hmm.
First time I had a score, it was around. I want to give you exact like numbers. It was 900, like 900, and they told me that okay, this is okay, but your grade in math is really terrible. And I remember this because I was really terrible in math back in France.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of my biggest like weakness. I was bad in math, so they told me, okay, we have no problem in terms of like basketball, but school wise, this has to change. You have to improve that grade, because that's the thing with USA, is that you can't just go by with basketball unless you're, I don't know, LeBron James Jr. Okay, but if let's say you are just a regular player, a good player, it's going to be really really hard for you to just go by with just basketball, because they're going to ask you, hey, okay, you can play basketball, but you got to prove that in school you can keep up, because the pace in like high school and college is different than, especially college, because you have so many games, you're on TV and everything. You want to make sure that okay, school wise, he's going to be okay. And what happened is that I re I repassed the test like 2 or 3 times after, and I couldn't fix this math part. And during this time, I think they signed somebody up. This they signed somebody else. That's what happened basically. You know. So
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Because
that's
I
the
thought that was.
thing.
I think that would have been a good opportunity for you. But I know I remember
Yeah,
you having something with your SAT. I remember that.
that was the problem. That was the problem, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
And after this, that I received some offer from JUCO or from other like division and everything. But I was like, you know what? I feel like this is really the time for me to get a diploma and then go directly to the pro, like to the pro, to the pro lane. Call it like this, because I already know people in France. I already know how it works in France. I already got a lot of experience from USA. I played against people that they are in the NBA right now,
Mm-hmm.
some
Yeah.
of them. So I really know what I'm talking about in terms of basketball right now. I see a lot of good players, so I know what it takes. So I think that it's legit. Like I can pretend to be a pro player,
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's the thing.
Got you. Got you. So, aside from basketball, I know
Yeah,
you wrote a book.
yeah.
Well, I think you wrote two.
Several,
Yeah,
several.
you wrote
Yeah.
several. Man, that's dope. So, what made you want to write books?
Okay. So what made me want to write books is that I'm a guy who like to talk, right? You saw that in the USA. I like to have like debate and everything. So I was like, you know what? Because I'm thinking about a lot of like day-to-day topics that a lot of people are sometimes concerned about it and everything.
Mhm.
So I was like, you know what? Let me share my thoughts process with people, like just to see what they thinking. Are they thinking the same, or is it different and everything? And actually, a lot of people liked it. They left me a lot of comments. They sometimes DM me about, okay, you said that that's true. Okay, I like the way you think about this and everything. So it's not really even about the money and everything. I'm just sharing it just because
Mhm.
I want to talk. That's it.
Yeah. How how did you go with the process? Because I remember I tried to write a
Hmm.
book one time. I was living in China. I had a lot
Uh-huh.
of free time, and I
Yeah.
said, like eventually I want to write a book. So I said, okay, I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna write a book. But it was
Mm-hmm.
like so much work. And I did like the first like 10 pages, but
Mm-hmm.
to go and to then publish it and then put it on some type of platform, that's a long
Mm-hmm.
process. Like during your time of making the book, did you like feel like discouraged or like I'll finish it whenever I want to finish, or you were so motivated where you finished it and you put it out?
Okay, so I think it was the last one because the thing is, you see several books, but there's just a big one, right? And this is just chapters of different chapters of the big one. That's why I'm just sharing it like several versions.
Okay.
So I'm still writing like the big one, and because I feel like it's gonna take so much time for me to write the whole one and then drop it. I already just write some chapters, okay, publish it. Write some chapters, publish it because I know it's so long, and sometimes, of course, you're gonna feel a little bit discouraged during the process. That's normal,
Mhm.
and some other times you're gonna feel really like motivated. Like I remember, I wrote, I think it was the last one in like a month or 3 weeks, something like this, because I was really inspired in this moment,
Yeah.
and I know it's not gonna be like that the whole year. It's not gonna be like this.
Mhm.
So I really just put it out. It's like being a singer. I think you're gonna go to the studio,
Mhm.
get as much like songs and everything that you can because you never know when you will like run out of inspiration or anything,
Mhm.
right? So that's the way I go about it.
Okay. Man, I think that's so cool that you can write, those books, especially doing it like that, like write one chapter, put it out, another
Mhm.
chapter, put it out. That's so smart.
Yeah,
I think, at your age, if you continue to do that and you just continue to put stuff out, eventually
hmm,
you're gonna have a lot of stuff that you can say, that you wrote. And
that's true.
I and I've read the first like 10 uh like the first 6 or 7 pages of your last one. And it's
Okay,
actually really good. It's actually really
that,
good. Um,
yeah, that's the one I had the most like compliment about. Yeah,
yeah, I plan to finish it, and once
thanks, man.
yeah, I'm gonna call you and probably want to talk to you about it because I really think it's really
No problem.
um. But to keep going, where do you see yourself in like the next 3 to 5 years? Because you have basketball, you have your writing and everything.
And
Where
I got investment on the side too, so
yeah, oh man, you do a lot. So
like, I do a lot. Yeah.
where first let's talk about where do you see yourself in the next 3 to 5 years?
Okay, so the thing with those kind of questions, I really avoid to answer those. You know why? Because when you say something like this, I feel like it's like you put a cap on what you can accomplish, right? And the way I see life, honestly, is that okay, let's say you fall. You cannot fall lower than the ground, right? You're gonna fall. If you fall, that's gonna be on the ground. Okay. But let's say you jump, you look up, for example, only thing you see is the sky. You don't see any cap or any like ceilings or anything. And that's the way I see life. So I don't even know. Let's say I push hard every day, so much can happen. I don't even know. And the thing is to focus on the journey. You really have to focus on the journey because what I feel like is that life's trying to teach me that you never know what may happen. Back in the day, I didn't even know I could go to Los Angeles, play basketball there, meet LaMelo Ball, playing against this dude and everything. I didn't even know about this. You know, I was not thinking, okay, I'm gonna play against him one day and everything. I was just working. Is something gonna happen? You know, the Lord's gonna bless you. Something is gonna happen. You never know, and that's why I see life. I may be a millionaire in 3 years, 4 years. Who knows? Your podcast may be something like Gary V podcast in 2 years.
Yeah.
We never know. So the thing is just to work, and then something is gonna happen eventually. You know.
Yeah, I think that's the beautiful thing about just working hard and like you said, not having a ceiling. Just
Mhm.
keep working until you wake up one day and you're in a special place. Like you have money or you have a lot of followers or you just have a lot of content to share.
That's true.
I really think that's a part of the process. And
Hmm.
a lot of people want it to happen really fast. Like they want to like
Nah, it's not gonna happen.
it's not going to happen like that. And
Not gonna
a
happen.
lot of people need to understand the process is the most important part of the goal. If you
Yep.
have a goal, the process and how you get there is the most important part. So I think
Exactly.
it's really important that we understand that. Um,
The thing is, you really got to fall in love with the process if you want to get any type of results, any type of like feedbacks and everything. Really focus. Like these guys that you see on TV, those rich guys and everything, they didn't get those Lamborghinis by just wanting a Lamborghini every day. It's like, okay, you can want a Lamborghini, but don't expect it for like next year. You're not gonna get it. I don't think you're gonna get it. Wait, you might get it. Some people get it in 1 year. Okay, but this is an exception. You're not gonna base like you're not gonna make a rule out of an exception.
mhm.
You know.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so what other things do you have going on? So you have like you're putting money in investments in certain things.
Yep. Like real estate and trading. Yep.
Okay. Oh man. So how is that going?
Those
Did you just get started recently?
I got started with real estate probably a year ago, a year or 2 years ago, actually with my mom. And it's doing pretty good right now.
Mhm,
Really pretty good. Trading, I just got started 8 to like 6 months ago.
mhm.
It's doing well too. And I'm also crypto. So there's a lot of thing going on.
Wait, what's the last thing you said? You broke up a little bit.
It's like cryptocurrency, if you know
Oh yeah,
what it is.
yeah,
You
yeah.
heard about it, right?
Yeah, I've been doing a little bit of that too. So during COVID, I also so it's been like what 8 or 9 months is when I really seriously started investing into stocks, and then I
Yeah.
more recently got started with the crypto maybe about 2 months
Okay.
ago. Um,
Hmm.
and I think it's really important for everybody, even if you're not going to invest a lot of money, even if you don't want to
Hmm.
put a lot, to know the information from it and just
Yeah,
invest a little bit of money. I think you will benefit in the future. So I think it's important that everybody learn. Everybody
that's
learn.
true.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, you have to know first thing before you got rich, before you got anything going on really in your life, you have to know if you have the information, you're rich. Because there's the information that make people rich.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you got the information, no one can stop you from doing great things.
Mhm. So I want to ask you a question for my
Okay.
personal reason.
Hmm.
Sometimes, sometimes I have struggled. Like, what advice would you give me or someone else who,
Uh-huh.
you know, they have some different things going on,
Hmm.
but sometimes they have doubt or, sometimes they don't really pay attention to it a lot. Like, how do you stay motivated to always, stay focused and always do the things that you have to do? Because, like, example, for me, like I said, I wanted to
Hmm.
write a book when I was in China, and I still have those 10 pages. And I always tell myself, I'm going to finish it. I'm going to finish it. Or, like,
Hmm.
sometime when I'm like learning about crypto, like 1 or 2 days, I'll study crypto a lot, and then I don't do it again for like 2 or 3 weeks. Like, do you spend like a certain amount of time doing everything? Do you always like studying it, or do you kind of put it to the side and just come back to it whenever you have time?
Okay, so the thing is, you have to see life, I think, a certain way. So, for example, a lot of people they see life as okay, this is one more day in my life, right? And I think there is the problem because the way I see life is damn, I got one day left. I mean, this is one day. How do you say that again? I forgot. You have to see life as a countdown, right? Not like going up, but going down. This is where I'm going to put it. You have to see life as a countdown. Like, okay, it's only like okay, 900 day left, 800 day left, 600 day left, and everything going down. Because actually, that's what it is. Because you know what happened at the end. Okay, we all gonna die and everything. But the way you have to see things is like, okay, not being in a rush too much because sometimes I tend to be in a rush a lot, but being like, okay, I don't have unlimited time left. Okay, I don't have unlimited time left. I got to get this done before before a date that you don't even know where it's gonna happen. So this is how I see life, and this is what kept me motivated because I don't know if I'm gonna die in 2 months, 1 year, 2 years. I don't know, but I want to enjoy the trip right now. That's the most important thing is about enjoying the moment right now before it's gone. Because when it's gone, it's really gone. You're not gonna go back here. It's not like you're respawning in Call of Duty. It's not like this. You
Yeah.
just you're out of here.
So at the end of every podcast, I ask my guests these 3 questions. And
Okay.
these are probably the three questions that everybody they really like. Wow, that's a good question. So,
Uh-huh.
like if you need to take your time to answer it, you can take your time. But the first question is, what do you consider success? Everyone has their own idea or their own belief about what is
Okay.
success. So, what does
Okay.
success mean to you?
Okay. Like you said, it's a good question. So success to me, it's not even about financial success because a lot of time they associate the amount of money that you have with the amount of success that you have. It's more about what you want to do in life, what you want to do in life, like really what you want to do. Let's say you want to, I don't know, write books. This is what you like. This is what you see. This is what you see yourself doing in like 100 years and everything. Write books. If you manage to write books your whole life, your life being successful. You know, and if you this is what being successful means also is that really liking your daily routine. It's like, okay, it's not today I'm gonna wake up, damn, I gotta go to this job. Like, okay, it's paying you like 20,000 a month, but you're like, damn, I gotta go to this job today. Instead of like being paid, for example, I don't know, 2,000 and being like, okay, this is one more day. I'm gonna make it happen. It's gonna be good. This is success to me. Success is about really you being happy in what you do every day. That's it.
Yeah.
All the material stuff, it's pleasing, it's good, but it's not gonna really define the way you feel inside.
hmm Yeah. That's a really good answer.
Thanks.
So the second question is, have you seen the movie The Matrix?
No, but a lot of people suggested me. So
Yeah, yeah.
what's up about it?
I think you should watch it. But the reason I
Hmm.
asked you that is because in the movie, this guy asks a question: do you want to take the red pill or the blue pill? So
Hmm.
if you take the red pill, you will see all the corruption, all the 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 bad stuff that goes on in society and in the government and all the bad stuff that's happening in the world. Like you can see
Hmm.
it. You can see all the things that is happening behind the closed doors that's really deep. And a lot of people don't know about it. Would you
Uh,
take that pill and you understand all the truth? Or
hmm.
would you take the blue pill and just be normal, like get your job, get your family, just be normal and live your life? Would you want to take the blue pill and live your life, or take the red pill and then you be exposed to all the truth and all the corruption in society? So the red pill is expose the truth. The blue
Hmm.
pill is be normal with your life.
Mm, I think I'm gonna get the blue pill. I think because this is why because you kind of have an idea of what's going on in the world, right? You don't really know. You're not behind the doors, but you kind of know why things are happening the way they are. So I rather just focus on like being happy, knowing that something is going on. I don't know what exactly, but something is going on. Because let's say you know everything, but let's say you can't change anything, you're gonna suffer, I think. And your life is not gonna really be okay. You're not gonna be happy because you know everything that's going on. And sometimes what kill people is knowing what's going on. Let's say you don't know, you're ignorant, for example. Ignorant people, they are really happy because they don't know shit about life.
Yeah.
Like, they're really happy.
Yes.
So let's say you don't know anything, you can't be frustrated, you can't be mad or anything. You're just living.
Mhm.
So I think this is the happiest way to see life. So I'm gonna take this one.
I love that answer. I believe in the quote that says ignorance is bliss. That means like if
True.
you're ignorant, you're kind of like happy because you
Yeah.
don't know about, like you just said, you don't know about everything that's going on. So you're
Hmm.
happy because you're ignorant. So I understand that idea and I respect that answer. That's a good answer. So the last question is not a question, it's a like a statement or a message that you will leave to yourself. So leave yourself a message to see in like 5 years. So if you watch this again in 5 years, what
Uh-huh.
message do you want to leave for yourself?
Okay, so what can I say to myself? Okay, so I don't know, Yvonne, what you be doing right now. I really don't know, but I hope you kept working. I really hope you kept working because it's really about the process and not really what you're going to get financially. Really about the road, what you can see, the country you can visit, for example, and really about you being happy. So I really hope you kept working. This is my only message to myself in 5 years. I really hope I kept working the way I am right now.
Mhm.
That's
Good. Great, man. So that brings us to the end of the podcast. I want to thank you so much for sharing your story and sharing everything that you've been through with basketball and being an author. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me, bro.
Yeah, for sure. And for all my viewers, I want to thank you guys for watching and staying tuned with all the episodes. We will be seeing Yvan again in the future. Hopefully, we can bring him on again in the next few months or a year to see where he ended up. And so just stay tuned for all of that. Again, I want to remind you guys that I am on Apple Podcasts. So you don't have to go to YouTube. You don't have to go to the Anchor app. You have the podcast app in your phone. Just search up Dmack's podcast and subscribe so you can get updated on all the new episodes that we have coming out. Again, thank you. And I'll see you guys again soon. Peace.